we shall start. And our topic today, guys, is sequences and patterns. Okay, so over the last couple of weeks, I've had feedback from you guys, and you wanted to work with sequences and patterns. So starting off, what is a sequence? A sequence is an ordered number. Okay, it's a set of ordered numbers. Now, from that, each number in the sequence is called a term. So firstly, when we talk about sequence, we are talking about ordered numbers. Each one of those sequence numbers in the sequence is called a term. The terms of a sequence is called a pattern. Okay, so that's how we get sequences and patterns. Okay, once again, a sequence is an ordered set of numbers. Each number in the sequence is called a term, and the term of a sequence forms a pattern. Now, I'm going to start off by sharing my board with you. So, let's look at the sequence. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12. Now, in this sequence, what are we doing? We are adding 2. So each time we're jumping, we are adding 2. Everybody agreed? Okay, in this sequence, we are adding 2. Now, what if I had this type of sequence? 1, 2, 4, 8, 16, 32. What is happening in this sequence? In this sequence, we're doubling the number before. So 1 plus 1 will give us 2, 2 plus 2 will give us 4, 4 plus 4 is 8, 8 plus 8 is 16, 16 plus 16 is 32. So therefore, in this sequence, we are doubling each term. Okay, you understand that? So in the first one, we was adding 2 to the term. So we added 2 from term 1. To each term, we added 2. In the second row, we doubled it. Now, I want you guys to look at this for me. Okay, 1, 4, 9, 16, 25, and 36. What is going on in this pattern? Okay, so in here, the difference between each consecutive term increases by 2 each time. So what do I mean when I mean that? So let's look at this. 1 plus how much is going to give me 4? It's going to be 3. But if I add 3 to 4, I'm going to get 7. But I need to add 2 to that first. So if I say 4 plus 5 is going to give me 9. 9 plus 7 is going to give me 16. 16 plus 9 is going to give me 25. And 25 plus 11 is going to give me 36. So the difference between each consecutive term is increasing by the number 2. Okay. So in the same way that we do sequencing with numbers, we can do sequencing with diagrams. So I want to share my diagram board with you. I want you guys to look at this. Okay, this sequence can also be expressed as a series of diagrams. So let's look at these. Okay, we can see that the tile patterns are growing. In each one of these diagrams, the tile pattern is growing. And if we look down at the bottom, we can see that the tile patterns grow according to the rule. Okay, we enter the number of white tiles on the top, and that's how we can establish what the blue tiles are going to be. Okay, so in the first diagram that we have here, we have 1 white tile and 3 blue tiles. So we've got 1 white tile and 3 blue tiles. The second diagram has 2 white tiles and 4 blue tiles. The third diagram has 3 white tiles and 5 blue tiles. And the last diagram here has 4 white tiles and 6 blue tiles. So we can see that all the white tiles are increasing by 1 more. So 1, 2, 3, 4. And the blue tiles are doing the very same thing. They started off with 3 blue tiles, 4 blue tiles, 5 blue tiles, and moving on to 6 blue tiles. So can you guys see the sequence and the pattern being formed? Now we're going to move along and we're going to do a couple of examples together. Remember, when we're working with sequencing, we must always look at the rule. Okay, the rule is going to help us form a solution. So I'm going to look at your textbook and I'm going to go to, going to quickly show you which textbook I'm on. I'm on your maths textbook and I'm on page 140, exercise 16.2. And it says, for each of these sequences in questions 1 to 10, firstly, describe the term-to-term rule. Then write down the next 2 terms of the sequence. And then finally, calculate the 10th term. So, firstly, what is term-to-term rules? Term-to-term rules describes how to get from one term to the next, and we call this a term-to-term rule. Okay, a rule which describes how to get from one term to the next, we call a term-to-term rule. So now, let's have a look. Let's have a look at this. So the first one we have here is 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. And our instructions to us first says, describe the term rule by rule. So let's look at the first one. What would be the rule? The rule in this one is we are adding 2. Agreed. Okay, what we are doing is adding 2. Okay, this B says write down the next 2 terms of the sequence. The next 2 terms will be, if we are adding 2, the next 2 numbers will be 12 and 14. So 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14. Okay, so that will be the next 2 terms for the sequence. The next question says, calculate the 10th term. Now, how do we calculate the 10th term? What we're going to do is we're going to say, we know that the rule is 2. They've given us 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 sequences to our pattern, and they want us to calculate the 10th term. So we say plus 10. So 2 plus 5 is 10. 10 plus 10 is 20. So the 10th term will be 20. Okay, I'm on page 140, guys. On page 140, exercise 16.2. And I'm in the math checkpoint 1. Okay. Now let's look at the next one. Okay, the next one is 1, 3, 5, 7, 9. Okay, firstly, what is our rule? What are we doing? 1, 3, 5, 7, 9. We are adding 3. Okay, we are adding 3. The next 2 terms, because they say, write down the next 2 terms of the sequence. The next 2 terms will be 11 and 13. Agreed. Okay. Then they want us to calculate the 10th term. And how do we calculate the 10th term? Well, once again, they've given us 5 terms. So we say 2 times 5 plus 9. Okay, and our answer will be 19. So our 10th term in this sequence will be 19. Okay, 4, 7, 10, 13, 16. Okay, guys, what is the term-to-term rule here? 4, 7, 10, 13, 16. We are adding 3 again. Okay, we are adding 3 to each of these. And so what must we say when we want to calculate the 10th term? We say 3 times 5 plus 16. And 3 times 5 is 15, plus 16 will equal to 31. Okay, I hope you guys are getting a better understanding of how the sequencing is working and how the patterns are forming. You got to count. Sometimes you have to add, sometimes you're doubling, sometimes you're dividing, sometimes you're subtracting. You've got to look at the pattern that's being formed in order for you to be able to calculate the pattern or the sequence, might I say. Okay, I'm going to go on and do a few more of these, okay? So let's look at the next one. We got 2, 6, 10, 14, and 18. Once again, what is the rule? What is the term-to-term rule on this one? We are adding 4, okay? For each one here, we are adding 4. 2 plus 4 is 6, 6 plus 4 is 10, 10 plus 4 is 14, 14 plus 4 is 18. And then if we need to add 2 more to this term, it will be 22 and 24. No, 26, sorry. Okay, so how then do we calculate the 10th term for this one? What we should be saying is, because we are adding the 4, we start off with 4. They've given us 5 terms and they want us to work the next 5 out. We say multiplied by 5. And the first term on this is 18. So we add the 18. So we say 4 times 5 is 20 plus 18 is equal to 38. So our 10th term on the sequence pattern will be 38. Okay? Let's look for one that has a minus. Okay, I'm going to do number 8. Number 8 goes 9, 7, 5, 3, 1. Okay, and they want us, firstly, what is the rule? What is the term by term rule? The term by term rule here is we minusing 2. 9 minus 2 is 7. 7 minus 2 is 5. 5 minus 2 is 3, and 3 minus 2 is 1. Okay, now we need to find the next 2 terms. What would be the next 2 terms? The next 2 terms here after 1 is minus 1 and then minus 3. Okay, can you see the pattern that's being formed? 1 minus 2 will give me minus 1. Minus 1 minus 1 minus 2 is going to give me minus 3. Now, how will I now work out my 10th number in the sequence? Okay, what I need to then say is, firstly, what's happening? I'm saying minus 2 because we are minusing 2. So I'm going to say minus 2 times, they've given us 5 parts to our sequence. So minus 2 times 5 plus 1, because the last number given to us was 1. So what is minus 2 times 5 plus 1? Our answer is minus 9. Okay, now let's do number 9. 32, 28, 24, 20, and 16. What pattern is being formed here? We are minusing 4 once again. Okay, so 32 minus 4 is 28. 28 minus 4 is 24. 24 minus 4 will give you 20, and so on. So that's the term by term rule. Now, we need to work out the next 2 numbers for the sequence. So we know 20 minus 4 is 16. What is 16 minus 4? It will be 12. And 12 minus 4 will be 8. Okay, 12 minus 4 is 8. Now, if you look at this pattern that's being formed, how will we then work out our 10th number in the pattern? How will we work out the 10th term? Okay, so what we're going to basically say is, because we're using our term by term rule was -4, we say -4 multiplied by, once again, they've given us the first 5 numbers to our, the first 5 terms to our sequence, -4 multiplied by 5 plus 16, because 16 was the last number that was given to us. So what is -4 times 5 plus 16? Our answer is equal to -4, which means our 10th term in this sequence will be -4. Okay, are you guys understanding the sequencing? I'm going to do one more before I recap, okay? So, guys, sequencing is quite straightforward and quite simple as long as you look for the pattern that's being formed and see. Like I said, it's not always adding. Sometimes it's subtracting. Sometimes it's multiplying. Sometimes you're even dividing. You've got to see what is happening. Sometimes it's square. You're squaring the term before, or you're cubing the term before. You need to see what pattern is being formed. Okay, I'm going to do one more of the sequencing patterns before we do a recap for today. Okay, I'm going to do number 10, and that's 144, 132, 120, and 120 and 108. 144. Okay, so now how do we work out this? What then would be the sequence in which this is moving? 144 and 132. What is the difference? -12. So 144 minus 12 is going to give me 132. 132 minus 12 is going to give me 120. 120 minus 12 is going to give me 108. So then, what will be my next two numbers? 96 and 84. Okay, having said that, how then will we work out our pattern? How will we work out the pattern that's being formed? Okay, they want us to work out the 10th term, so we must say -12 times 5 plus 108, and our answer will be 68. So our 10th term in this number sequence will then be 68. Okay. So now, guys, now that we've worked out these number sequencing, I've showed you how there is number sequencing, and they can be diagram sequencing. So it doesn't necessarily have to be numbers that we work with. You can work with diagrams as well. Now, let's do a quick recap of all that we did today. Firstly, what did we learn? We learned that a sequence is ordered numbers, okay? It's an ordered set of numbers. Sequence is an ordered set of numbers. Each number in a sequence is called a term, okay? And the terms of a sequence is a pattern. I'm going to reiterate that, guys. A sequence is basically ordering of numbers. Each number in the sequence is called a term, and the term of a sequence is called a pattern. Okay, and we say that in sequencing we can add numbers and form a pattern, we can use diagrams and form a pattern. It's just a matter of seeing and identifying what is being asked of you. Okay, now quickly, guys, before I go any further, okay, so compound, measure, and motion. When we're talking about compound, measure, and motion, we're talking about measurement of speed, distance, time. Okay, so let's quickly share our board. Okay, so speed, distance, and time. Okay, guys, quickly, when we're working out speed, our formula for working out speed is equal to distance over time. Okay, when we're working out distance, our formula is equal to speed times time. And when we're working out time, we say time is equal to distance over speed. So when we're working out speed and we're working out time we multiply, we divide, and when we're working out distance, we multiply. Speed is equal to distance divided by the time. Time is equal to distance divided by speed, but distance is equal to speed multiplied by time. Okay. I'm going to work out a quick example for you, and then I think our time will more or less be up. So let's have a look at a quick one. If we calculate the average speed of a car, which makes a journey of 150 kilometers in 2 hours. Okay, let's clean out our board. So calculate the average speed of a car, which makes a journey of 150 kilometers in 2 hours. So we're working out the speed. So our speed is equal to distance over time. Okay. And given to us, it says it's making a journey of 150 kilometers, and it's going to be doing this in 2 hours. So given to us is 150 kilometers, and that's the distance it's traveling. 2 hours is the time it's going to be taking. And we say 2 divided by 150, and our answer here is 75 kilometers per an hour. Okay, the next question asks, how long does it take a train to travel 480 kilometers at a speed of 160 kilometers an hour? Okay, let's clean out this board. Okay, so I'm going to clean out that board, and we're going to work out the next one. So, how long does it take a train to travel 480 kilometers at a speed of 160 kilometers? So they've given us distance, and they've given us speed, and they want us to work out time. So we're going to start off by saying time is equal to distance divided by speed. Okay, and what is the distance? Distance is 480 kilometers. And the travel time is 480, and the speed that they're traveling in is 160 kilometers per an hour. Okay, and if we divide that 160 kilometers into 480, we'll see that it takes the train 3 hours to arrive at its destination, to finish its journey. Okay, so guys, just a quick recap. When we're working out speed, we say speed is equal to distance divided by time. When we're working out with distance, we say distance is equal to speed multiplied by time. And when we're working out time, we say time is equal to distance divided by speed. Okay,